Welcome to DNA's Birding Adventures. We are at San Juan Viejo. We spent a couple days there with the family. This is incredible history and incidentally finding a few life birds. Maneuvering around all the narrow streets was tricky and finding a parking spot. Once we did, we were able to wander around and find some of the historic sites.
Wow, look at that!
This is definitely a tourist destination, and there are quite a few cruise ships as well. Old San Juan, or the proper name is San Juan Antiguo, is the oldest city in the U.S. and its territories. The Spanish first settled this in 1521. It actually replaced the first settlement, Capata, as the island's capital. Christopher Columbus discovered the island, after the natives, in 1493 and named it San Juan Bautista, or St. John the Baptist. And then the city was named Puerto Rico, which means rich port, and that gained a lot of attention from the pirates. They started to attack. In 1520, the city's name changed to San Juan. And by 1530, San Juan even had a hospital, university, and a library. I took this timeline from their brochure from the National Historic Site, and it shows how, Ponce de Leon took over the Taino Indians, displaced them, and then it exchanged ownership, leadership until now, where it's a national park. Here we go.
Rock pigeons, Adelaide's warbler, and house sparrows, and the Antillean grackles. They're all right here in Old San Juan.
Oh, got its butt.
Of course, yeah. There he is right there.
In taking a second look, not the Adelaide's warbler, but a new life bird. See the stripes right underneath its chin and on the chest? It is a prairie warbler life bird. It was nice to see a house finch in amongst the other birds, and then if these rock pigeons knew where they were perched, they would be impressed. There's two main sections of the fortresses. This first one is Castillo San Felipe del Morro, and the second part will be Castillo San Cristobal. This was the first view of the watchtower, or the guard tower, and we tried to walk around along the trail here into the park, but it was closed for construction, so we went into the city and around into the entrance. Those little sentry boxes are the guard towers that are all around the walled city. I was so intrigued by those, I couldn't wait to see one. And I actually did a painting of one in the ocean before we even arrived in Puerto Rico. Walking along the ancient wall, we saw this great egret that was just flying along. And more local residents, this white-winged dove, which was the first for the trip. This Cathedral de San Juan Bautista is the second oldest in the Western Hemisphere. Actually, it was built in 1521 and then hit by a hurricane, and then it was rebuilt in 1540. It's the oldest church in U.S. This poor church went through another hurricane too, where it took off the roof. And lots of pillaging and robberies, including the Earl of Cumberland in 1598, which was famously the only successful attack on El Morro, other than the United States. It's also interesting, we made it into the park. It's $10 per person, or if you have a national park pass, you can have yourself plus 3 others. Totally worth it. There's 6 different levels or stories to El Morro, and it took 248 years to finally build it. Most of the building occurred within 50 years, with the Spanish in control for most of that, including the whole New World.
There's 2 Zenaida doves sitting on the old Castillo de Felipe El Morro wall. That's pretty crazy. That's my new life bird for the day. Actually 2 today.
That's a life bird.
Huh?
This is where I realized it was a life bird. We first saw it in the island of Vieques. I thought they were mourning doves at first, but look at the little white on the bottom of the wing.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, there it is!
This is actually the entrance to the National Historic Site. So this is where you can use your National Park Pass. And that burgundy cross is the Spanish military flag. It was kind of like walking back in time going down the ramp, with the 6-story being built later with a land defense, and then there was the main plaza, main firing battery, lower plaza, the original tower, 2nd level, and then the very bottom right next to the ocean was the water battery where they just had a cannon. And all those 6 stories were worth it. The Spanish built it and it kept people out and protected the New World for over 300 years.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
There's another fort all the way over there.
I mean, the history is just amazing. Neil and Logan knew a lot about it, and I was in awe the whole day.
Goes in there. And then head out to the moat. The P moat. Oh.
And a very fitting royal tern flew by right underneath the fort. And this other one was possibly a sandwich tern. It was smaller, but it had a little bit of orange too on its beak.
just head down this circular staircase right here. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Okay, I can't resist going down these circular staircases. It's all sandy. Whoa, it doesn't end. I'm getting dizzy. Ah! Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay, now we're going up.
The fort withstood a lot of different attacks until the Spanish-American War in 1898, where U.S. turned it into a U.S. territory. And a National Historic Site in 1949, and a World Heritage Site in 1983. All that history and birding made us hungry. We're heading to Barachina first and then to eat lunch. So the rock pigeons were everywhere, along with the greater Antillean grackles. They were the most prominent birds in the whole San Juan Viejo, as well as the red junglefowl, but there were also just lots of different wild cats. They were everywhere too. This is a very important spot for us to stop. This is Barachina Restaurant, where the first pina colada was invented back in 1963 by Don Ramon Portos Mingo. And I share a birthday with that famous drink, so of course we had to have a pina colada. Happy 60th birthday to us.
Yeah, the light.
We just ate at the Bari Pizzeria, the most amazing pizza restaurant in San Juan Viejo. And now we're heading out to watch the sunset. It's a pretty sunset. Wow.
San Juan Viejo is just as beautiful at night as during the day, maybe prettier. Then, a couple days later, we returned to San Juan Viejo for the other fort that was built later. Castillo San Cristobal started being built in 1634. Just as impressive. We headed back to Barachina, and this time for lunch. It was delicious. Castillo San Cristobal was built over 150 years and to protect El Morro and the city from attack. This fort was built by Irish-born chief engineer Thomas O'Daly, and Castillo San Cristobal is the biggest European fortification in the Americas.
It's pretty cool. There's some cruise ships over there. San Juan Viejo, and we're going in.
This fort only has 3 stories versus the 6 stories at El Morro, but it makes up for it in views. Beautiful. It's amazing to think we weren't even really looking for birds, and we still got 12 bird species and 2 life birds. The Puerto Rican hawk was seen flying over as we were driving to San Juan Viejo. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy trails to you. Our next stop is El Yunque.